Hi everyone, this is Helloangel.design. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute pinafore. It's an easy tutorial. I will take you step by step on how you can achieve this. You can see I'm using a denim, an African print, and the pocket is hard design. You can make any pocket of your choice, 4-corner, hard, round, that is totally depends on you. For today I'm using a different fabric to make the pinafore dress. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Make a comment down below if you have any questions. Please watch the tutorial to the end and let's get started. Before we start to put the pinafore together, I will explain how I make my pattern paper. This is A-line dress pattern paper. It's for 1 to 2 years old child. If you don't know how to make A-line dress pattern paper, I'll put the link down below so that you can go and watch the video. I have already shown how to make A-line dress pattern paper. The difference is just the shoulder. So you can see from here to here is my A-line dress pattern paper. This piece you're seeing right here, this is the shoulder. So I just cut 2 inch by length, 2 inch by width. So just cut it a 4-corner, 2 inch by length, 2 inch by width. Tape it on the shoulder of your pattern paper. You can make your shoulder 4-corner. You can also make your shoulder and just go ahead and curve it out. This is the back of the pattern paper that I make. And for the front pattern paper, I add 1 inch. So if you're using centimeter, do the same thing. Measure 2.5 centimeter by length, 2.5 centimeter by width. You can also go ahead and curve it out, or you can also leave it at 4 corners. So the difference is just the shoulder. The pieces of paper that you're going to attach on the shoulder. That is the only difference of this pinafore dress that we are going to make today. So this is how I make my pattern paper. I have already cut my fabric out, so this is how it is. I cut these 2, one for the back, one for the front, and I cut this other piece of fabric, one for the front, one for the back. And for the pocket, I also do the same thing. I cut 4 pieces of the pocket, 2 for the check and 2 for this other fabric. So I just want it to be different. You can decide to make a pocket on your pinafore, and this is my button and my label. You can put a button or a snap. So let's start putting the pinafore together. First thing that you have to do, you open your front dress. So I just take my front piece of fabric. This is the front of my dress. And you also go ahead and take the front pieces of your pinafore dress. So what you're going to do, you're going to put them together. So once you put them together, make sure both front fabric are facing each other. Go ahead and pin around the both armhole, neckline, and the shoulder. I have pinned both armhole, neckline, and the shoulder together. What you're going to do, take it to your sewing machine, stitch around the both armhole, neckline, and the shoulder. My seam allowance is 1 centimeter. Once you have done that, you also take the back pieces of your fabric. So this is the back of my pinafore, and then go ahead and take the back lining, put them together. Go ahead and also pin the both armhole, neckline, and the shoulder together. So I will just go ahead and pin them all around. Once you have done pinning the both armhole and neckline and the shoulder together, also go ahead and take it to your sewing machine. Stitch around the both armhole, neckline, and the shoulder. My seam allowance is 1 centimeter. Once you have done stitching, take your scissors, snip around the both armhole, neckline, and the shoulder to release the tension around the both armhole and the shoulder. So go ahead and top stitch. I have stitched around the both armhole and the shoulder. This is how it is. I just take it to my ironing board, give it a nice press. Remember to snip around the armhole, neckline, and the shoulder because it's curved. Make sure to do that and you press it very nice. This is how it looks. This is the front of my dress and this is the lining. The next thing that you have to do, you're going to stitch your pockets. Put them together. I cut 4 pieces of my pocket. Put them together. Make sure both fronts are facing each other. Pin it all around. Leave about 1 inch so that you can turn your pocket inside out. You do the same thing on this side. Put them together. Leave about 1 inch so that you can turn your pocket inside out. So go ahead and stitch your pocket together. I have stitched my both pocket. This is how it is. And this is my open gap. I haven't stitched that yet. I just take it to my ironing board, press along. This is how it finally looks. And I fold the top edge of the pocket to like this. So I want my pocket to look like this. You can decide any pocket of your choice. A 4-corner, round, any pocket of your choice is really good on this pinafore that you're making. Even you can make a hard design pocket. So what I'm going to do, you can see the fold hem right here. This is where I folded the fold hem. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I will give it a top stitch around the top to the end right here. And I will take the second pieces. This is where I fold it. So when I'm top stitching, I'm going to open it. I'm not going to fold it on top of it. I will open it, start from where I fold the fold hem and stitch it all the way down to this other side. Make sure you open your pocket like this. You don't want to top stitch when it's fold on top of the pocket. You're top stitching separately from here all the way down. So go ahead and stitch that in place. I have stitched my pocket. This is how it is. So I take it to my sewing machine. I set my sewing machine to hard design. Sewing machine comes with different designs. So I just stitch it all around the edge of the pocket. You can see how that finally looked. And I made a little bit of mistake right there. It's okay to make mistake. I just want to show you that you can always make mistake when you're sewing. And when you look at this, you can see that it look neater right here. So this is how it is once you have done sewing. The mistake that I make is just this is right here, but you can hardly see it. So this is how it is once you have done that. The next thing that we have to do, we are going to pin our pocket on the pinafore that we're making. Before you pin your pocket on the pinafore that you're making, you take your ruler and your marker. From the bottom edge, measure inside 5 inch. If you're using centimeter, measure 12.7 centimeter. Take your marker, give it a mark. You come down to the other side, you do the same thing. 5 inch, take your marker, give it a mark. If you're using centimeter, 12.7 centimeter. Once you have done that, you take one piece of your pocket, place it on the dress. From the side, you can also measure inside. From the side, I want to measure about 1.5 inch. So you can see from here to here is 1.5 inch. I will go ahead and pin that in place. So when you're pinning, make sure to separate your lining. You are not going to pin the lining together. You separate it. Just place your hand like this on your pocket. Make sure it stays and pin that in place. Just gently put like 2 or 3 pins just to secure that first. once you have pinned your pocket in place like this, if you want to pin the second pieces of your pocket on your dress, what you're going to do, instead of measuring 1.5 inch inside, or if you're using centimeter, measure about 3 centimeter inside, what you're going to do, you just take the second piece of your pocket, place it on each other like this, so that the both pockets are equal. Place it on each other. Gently take your fabric, place it on each other like this. So take your pin, use about 2 or 3 pins to just pick your pocket like this, just to secure it in place like this. Take the second pin, you do the same thing, just to secure the pocket on this other side. Then go ahead and open your dress. You can see how that is. Like right now, the both pockets are equal, no difference. One, this side is not shorter, the other side is not longer. The both sides are 1.5 inch. So you can see that I placed my ruler. From here to here is 1.5 inch, and then you can see my other side from there to there is 1.5 inch. So this is how you can pin your pocket, and the both pockets are equal. So go ahead, pin them together, take it to your sewing machine, stitch it together. When you're going to stitch, you start from the very top right here. You're going to stitch it all around, and then you end on this other side. You do the same thing on the second piece of your pocket. You start from the very top, stitch it all around, you end on this other side. So go ahead and stitch your pocket in place. I have stitched the pocket on the pinafore. This is how it is. The next thing that you have to do, you take your back dress. So this is my back pinafore dress. Put them together like this. Both front fabric are facing each other, and the lining will be facing each other once we put them together. So what you're going to do, you open it like this. Pull the both side seam together. Pick your dress like this. Go ahead and pin the both side seam of the dress together. I have pinned the both side seam together. This is how it is. Just pin the both side seam together. Take it to your sewing machine. Give it a top stitch all the way down. You come down to the other side, give it a top stitch all the way down. My seam allowance is 1 centimeter. Once you have done stitching, you can also take it to your overlocker, overlock the raw edges, or use zigzag to overlock the raw edges. So go ahead and top stitch. I have stitched the both side seam together, and I use zigzag to overlock the raw edges. The next thing that you have to do is to turn your dress inside out. So take it to your ironing board and give it a nice press. I will take mine to my ironing board right now, and I will press along, and I will show you how it looks. I have given it a good press. This is how it finally looks. It's really, really beautiful. This is the front, and this is the back. So this is how my dress look right now. The next thing that you have to do is to hem the dress. So what you're going to do, so before I will hem the dress, I want to cut out from my lining. So from my lining, I will measure inside 1/2 inch all the way down. So go ahead and do the same. Measure inside 1/2 inch all the way down. So once you have done that, and then cut it out. I want my lining to be shorter than my main fabric. So I have cut it out. This is how it is. The next thing that you have to do, you're going to hem your lining. So what you're going to do, fold inside half an inch and then fold it again half an inch, give it a top stitch. You also do the same thing with the made fabric. Fold inside half an inch and then fold it again half an inch and give it a top stitch all the way down, because I want my dress length to be total 18 inches. It's for 1 to 2 years old. The total length, I want it to be 18 inches. So go ahead and hem your dress around. I have hemmed my dress. This is how it finally looks. You can see that I have stitched my button on the pocket. This is how it looks. If you're going to know the mid part of your pocket when you're stitching your button, pick your pocket, put them together like this. So both sides of the pocket will be facing each other. Use your hand to just give it a press like this so that you have a crease in the mid part. So this is the mid part of my pocket. Thread your needle, take your button. So I'll first put my needle like this on the dress, and I will place my button, and I will just go ahead and use hand stitch to stitch that in place. Once you have done that, also go ahead and stitch your button on your pinafore dress like this, and this side will be the buttonholes. Stitch your button, this side the buttonhole, and this is how it will finally look once you have done stitching. So I will just go ahead, stitch my buttonhole, stitch my button in place, and I will do the same thing with the pocket, and I will show you how it finally looks. This is the final look of my pinafore. As you can see, I have installed my buttons. This is how it finally looks. And this is the back of the dress. It's for 1 to 2 years old child. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Make a comment down below if you have any questions. And you all should have a beautiful day. Bye.